This video describes the GeoFence feature of Gecko Desktop. GeoFences monitor an area on the map and trigger an alert when one or more entities enter or leave a defined area. For example, GeoFences can send a text message when a vehicle leaves a secure compound or an employee arrives at a job site. This can be much more effective than visually tracking an asset to determine when it arrives at a rendezvous location. Let's get started by creating a sample geofence. For this video, we'll build one around Hawaii so that we know when one of our tracked assets, for example, a ship or a plane, leaves or arrives. First, let's enable the GeoFence feature. To do so, click on the Configuration Plugins menu. Next, select Find Plugins. Scroll down the list of available plugins to find GeoFences. Select it and then click Add. You can close both the Find Plugins dialog and the Manage Plugins dialog now. From the toolbar, click on the GeoFences icon to display its control panel. This dialog will contain a list of any and all geofences that have been created. Geofences are persisted across Gecko session. To create our geofence, press the green plus circle to display the Create Geofence dialog. Enter a descriptive name for the geofence. Here, we'll use Hawaii Alert. Next, we'll tell Gecko where the geofence is located. We can use the Google Earth search tool and enter Hawaii. Gecko will automatically fly us straight to the islands. In the Create Geofence dialog, select either the circle or rectangle shapes to define the area. Once the shape has been selected, click and drag on the map to define the area. Once created, you can make any adjustments as needed. When the location has been defined correctly, we can change the visual appearance of the geofence, including the color and opacity of the fill and border. Now, expand the Monitoring Options section of the dialog. This includes a pull-down, which allows us to select whether to monitor assets entering, departing, or both from the geofence. Further, we can opt to monitor all assets or only specifically defined ones. In the notification portion of the dialog, we can choose what Gecko should do when the trigger occurs. Our options are go to or fly to the geofence, visually flash the geofence on the screen, play a sound, or send a Gecko text message. For our sample geofence, we'll turn on the go to and text message alert options. Clicking on Set Details will display the text notification settings dialog, the top portion of which allows us to select who this text message should be sent to, everyone, if left blank, or specific entities. The bottom portion allows us to set the priority, subject, and body of the text message. When finished, press OK. You can also close both the GeoFence settings dialog and the overall GeoFence dialog. Now we'll demonstrate the geofence by manually positioning an asset just outside of it. We'll then continue to move it until it falls inside the defined area. Once that happens, Gecko carries out the specified actions. Here, Gecko has moved the map to center on the geofence and has sent a text message. We can click on this message in the message browser to see its details. Gecko has automatically added additional information, including the identity of the asset which triggered it, when it occurred, and whether or not the asset was entering or leaving the geofence. Gecko also provides a link which allows users to click to go to the triggering asset as well. When a geofence is triggered, the geofence dialog appears, allowing the user to see which geofences have been triggered and so that they may be acknowledged. In addition, by double-clicking on one of these triggered geofences, the user can see the log of triggered events that Gecko maintains. Here, we'll test GeoFences one more time, but now we'll center ourselves over Mexico when we manually move the asset to be outside the geofence. Once that asset is moved outside, it triggers Gecko to fly us there automatically as the geofence has been triggered. When used this way, geofences can be a powerful and time-saving tool, providing constant monitoring of areas and assets with little to no user supervision. This concludes the Gecko GeoFences video tutorial.